Hello and welcome to Trackmania Awards 2017. Today is December 20th and I have a new guest and a new award ready for you guys. The award today is Community Persons of 2017. And who is a better guest to be in this category than the new Trackmania Masters admin, AXELALEX. How are you, man?
Hey, thanks. I'm fine. Thanks for the
Yeah,
invite.
you ready to do this?
Yeah, I hope so.
So before we start, I always like to ask the guests, how do you overall view this category? Has the community been active this year? Has it been a good year or a bad year?
Community-wise, I guess it has been a solid year. Not the best one because we didn't have a world champ, for example. But the community was pretty active in the online environment. There were new tournaments around, and I hope to see more lands coming in the next year, 2018, following.
Yeah.
But yeah, it wasn't the best, but it was still pretty solid.
Yeah, and it's for sure like this year is an example that the community is what makes this game go around. If it hasn't been for the people, the game will have been dead already.
Yeah, surely. The community. This is what the game was always about, the community-driven thing.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, as most of the things just were coming out of the community, and therefore it's one of the biggest parts about.
Yeah, it's a kind of a prestigious award, like who has done most. It's kind of objective, no, kind of subjective what you think, but it's people that even are not nominated that has done a lot for the community this year. It's kind of sad to only nominate 4 people, but that's what you have to do to narrow it down.
Yeah, and we also have to exclude like the media section because there are specific awards for that. So no streamers, no YouTubers, no graphic designers, no video editors and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's true because they have their own category. Is there anything else you have had in mind when nominating people for this award?
Yeah, especially when reviewing the last year's 2016 and so this category was also already there, and so I just took a view on people and organizations who did new things in 2017 and didn't continue stuff from the past. Just trying to move
like creating new stuff
forward and implementing new things, and that's what I was looking for the nominees.
Okay, let's not make people wait anymore. Who was the first nominee and why?
The first I've come up with was MAIK.
Yeah.
MAIK came back from absence in early 2017. He was inactive for about 3 or 4 years. He wrote me a PM to produce some graphics for Trackmania Masters for the Team Cup 2017. And for the True Talent Cup, just to improve the quality of Trackmania Masters on Facebook and the website.
Yeah.
And yeah, he continued with the Trackmania Open, a new 3 versus 3 tournament, which didn't use the competition title pack, and introduced a map rotational system. So that was pretty new stuff coming from him. And Trackmania Open was pretty successful. Compared to 2016, I believe the Stadium Team Competition, STC, organized by Railec, was dropped, and therefore this spot was open for Trackmania Open. And it was a pretty good tournament.
Yeah, and you also had like lately you have TMO Classic where you bring back old maps to get played again. And that's kind of cool to not only see new maps, but also the history of Trackmania.
Yeah, it's also great. It's always great to see where Trackmania was coming from, and also nice to see where we are evolving next. Just like map style, for example, is one of the aspects of Trackmania
Yeah.
moving forward through the years. One additional point about MAIK. He is part of the Trackmania esports collaboration, who will try to work in 2018 to get the Trackmania esports a bit bigger again. Just like I said before, we had no World Championship this year, so that's a point the esports collaboration wants to resolve, wants to re-establish, and he's working with other administration guys, with other organizations, with players, streamers, and stuff like that. Yeah, he's working with us to get Trackmania back into a real esports.
Yeah, he's for sure a worthy nominee for this award. All the work he has done and the effort he put into the game is astonishing. Is there anything else you want to add to MAIK?
I guess not. Not about his work. I just experienced him as a nice and humble guy. So he's always nice to work with. He has his own perspectives on things, and he's trying to do work to move Trackmania esports just forward. And yeah, I guess he has his reasons for it, and he's doing good so far.
Yeah, for sure. I think we summarized all of his work in 2017 pretty good. It's kind of hard to summarize 1 year so short, but I think we covered it all. So yeah, who's the next nominee and why?
Second nominee is SOFTYB, the master admin of the Axis, of the Axis team, which evolved into a tournament organization, more or less.
Yeah.
He started in 2016 with the Axis Team Cup, with the pick and ban, and a double elimination bracket for Team Cups. He saw himself that this wasn't the best approach for a Team Cup double elimination bracket. It just lasted too long. So for 2017, he created the Trackmania Pro League, which is a single driver online event in a LAN style, so 1 versus 1 versus 1 versus 1, with prize money involved. So that's a good thing to see, because we haven't seen LAN style online events since a long time. I believe the last one was in 2013 or something around. So 4 years absence of a online LAN format.
What is he's like trying, as you said, new formats and new ideas to see how it works in this game.
Yeah, he's experimenting a lot with different formats, and he's always trying to find a nice format for drivers and viewers to experience a good Trackmania esports night and evening, to have a nice experience about Trackmania, and therefore he is reworking a lot of rules in the tournament while the tournaments are ongoing. That's the most negative point I can think about him. But still, with the experiments, and so we have to do things like that to just
of course, because
make
it's the
Trackmania
first
more
edition.
popular again.
Yeah.
So it's a bit of a negative thing, reworking the rules, but I guess we have to do it at some point.
Yeah, at least it's because it's the first edition. Like, it was the first edition of Access Team Cup and the first edition of Trackmania Pro League. So I guess there will always be some changes.
Yeah, changes like the point system we had. Normally it was 10, 6 for 3 points for LAN environments. The points which were awarded to the players in one round. And SOFTYB switched it up to 10, 7, 3. So that's a bit different there. So yeah, he's experimenting with a lot of things and tries to involve the sponsors to come into the competitive TM community again. So like he did with Axis themselves, and he also like provided Eddie and Watson glasses for the winners of the Trackmania Pro League to have real prizes and not only prize money, which is also a different thing. But maybe other sponsors are surprised by this thing, and maybe also will contribute to Trackmania tournaments in the future.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to see some events with some prizes for the players that put all the time into it. So yeah, is there anything else you want to add about SOFTYB?
No, not really. So short summary, maybe. He has done a lot of things in 2017 with experiments and stuff, and so I guess he's a good nominee for the community person of 2017.
Yeah, that's for sure. A worthy nominee. But yeah, who's gonna be the third nominee and why?
Alright, third nominee is SKADI. SKADI is not an admin of any organization. He is doing most of the work in the second row.
Yeah.
Second row means he's a map tester or referee for the Axis Trackmania Pro League and map tester for the ESL. So he has multiple influences in different organizations without taking the head state of the respective organization. So he's also leading multiple discussions about the future of Trackmania, and so he has relatively big knowledge about what's going on at which sides of Trackmania, and so he can also influence the way Trackmania competitive scene will grow. And I guess he's doing good so far, because 2017 in online things it was a pretty good year. In offline it wasn't, but I guess that wasn't his focus of the work.
Yeah, so it's good to like point out the people that might not be the faces of an organization, but people that always helps out and continues to do that.
Yeah, it's important to include the persons who just work at the second row behind the first row behind the organization and the admins. Also to maybe award the second row persons who just do a lot of stuff and discuss a lot about problems and possible solutions in the current state of Trackmania competitive.
Yeah, I think we covered it all. Is there anything we might have forgotten or anything else you want to add?
Not about SKADI in particular, because it's so difficult to just separate his work from the work of other admins. So not about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, we had to include someone in the second row, and I guess SKADI is the biggest person in the second row.
Yeah, so for sure.
Once again, that's why we picked him as a nominee.
For sure, once again, you bring up worthy nominees for this award. And now, only one nominee left. I think people are wondering who is it.
All right, so fourth nominee is DRAKONIA. DRAKONIA provide a stable tournament environment for every LAN. Most LAN organizers don't know about how to properly organize a Trackmania LAN, so DRAKONIA is there to help them out. They have multiple servers they can use, and they can export results to a website in real time. So not only as a visitor of a LAN you know what's going on, but also as an outstander you can see what the current results of the LAN are, which is a pretty cool damn thing. In 2017 they were working together with SOFTYB and the Trackmania Pro League to use the servers also for an online competition. So they have to switch up their framework, their server environment to be a bit more dynamic, because they have to adjust for the needs of Trackmania Pro League. And so maybe they're also usable for other organizations too, so that their organizations don't have to, necessarily use private servers of teams and stuff like that. So we have a constant server environment provided by Drakonia, usable for all tournaments, which would be a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
So maybe they're starting to implementing even more things into their plugin. So every organization could use their servers to have just another big aspect. So community comes together at Drakonia to play Trackmania online.
Yeah, that's for sure. It's nice to see them moving online and not only staying rather offline where their main powers have been so far. So yeah, is there anything else you want to add about Drakonia?
Oh, I guess not. I just hope they will continue their work on online competitions as well as offline competitions. Maybe if they need a bit new support, they just hire a new app and new persons who can help out. But they did with the online aspect pretty good influence on the Trackmania competitive scene in 2017, and that's why Drakonia is also a solid and reasonable pick for community person of 2017.
Yeah, so that was our 4 picks for this prestigious award. We know that the list can be completely different in other people's eye, but we have been as objective as we can, and I think this 4 nominees that we have picked is a pretty strong list. Or what do you say?
Yeah, I thought about it just like 5 days, looking into what happened in 2017 all around. There were also, just like I mentioned in the very beginning with streamers, YouTubers, there was a lot of stuff going on, but you just have to narrow it down, and that wasn't easy. To pick the aspects...
No, but we have to do it.
Yeah. Just picking the reasons why we nominate who, that was fairly easy, but picking the actual persons to nominate for the community person of 2017, that was the hard.
So yeah, what is left for people now is to go and vote. Try to be as objective as you can when you vote. See the work people has done and the effort they have put into it. And if there are someone else that you want to mention that should have been nominated, just comment that. We expect you to do it, but the 4 nominees from our picks, they are for sure good and for sure worthy. And I'm excited about who is going to win this award.
I'm as well.
You have any final words before we close the show about this award?
I wish the nominees best of luck to win this award, and I'm looking forward to for their work in 2018.
That's for sure. Thanks, man. It's been a pleasure to have you as a guest. Hope to see you as a guest in next year as well.
Thank you for the invite.